One of the hottest topics in the science world for the last few years has been the idea of the multiverse. An infinite amount of universes, realities, where anything you could possibly imagine could happen does happen in a different universe. So there's a universe out there where I'm married to Charlize Theron. There's another reality where, what's his name from Top Gear? Jeremy Clarkson is Prime Minister. Fantastic. There's also another reality where this week I won BOTB. However, it wasn't the one that I was in. I'm in the one. There's another Martin that's won this week somewhere. I'm in the reality that has been rough as old boots since last week. I had shivers from Thursday onwards, spent all weekend shuffling around. You know, you can see them old men shuffling around. Their feet don't leave the ground. They just pushing one foot in front of the other in a big fluffy dressing gown on the way to the kettle. Yeah, well, that's been me for the last few days. I don't know what I come down with. Some sort of virus or fever or something. Still, but if you remember, I did say a week last Saturday there probably wouldn't be one last Tuesday because I had a hospital appointment and they were going to put drops in my eyes that made me blurrier than they are now, so it wouldn't wear off for a few hours and I wouldn't be able to do a video. And I thought about doing it the next day, but then I was getting rough. But a lot better today. Still got a bit of a sniffle, but feeling a lot better. So last week then, what I did was just randomly and quickly, I think I did it on a weekend, I just threw a cross in there and managed to get into zone 2. I did actually move it. Even though I hardly spent any time on it, I was further to nearer the winning cross. So I'm pretty sure I would have been in zone 1. But I had another think about it and I thought, no, I think the judges are going to go further to the left. So I moved it sort of to the left and just submitted it and forgot all about it. But here we are in zone 2, so I'm quite pleased with that sort of result, really. And it's a late one tonight because BOTB have had all sorts of problems with their website for the last couple of hours. Every time you try to click on a different page, it crashes. I clicked on the winners page, there was no winners there ever. Nobody's ever won a thing. They've come back now. They give me £2 free credit this afternoon, but if I click on the credit thing now, I haven't won any credit since August, according to the my free credit page. So they've still got issues with the page, and it took a while for this for the judging video to appear as well. So let's have a look at the judges and see what they did. Well, I think it's a good cluster this week because look at this. They're all sort of clustered around this sort of area here. I mean, to me, you couldn't go far wrong anyway, but that's nothing to go by, is it? What threw it for me, I think, that there's one all the way over here, and one down here, which pulled it away from where I was. But they're too close to the cluster to be able to say, no, they got to go, they're too far away. So, yeah, I think the cluster is pretty good there. There does seem to be a clump of them around there, all sort of roughly in the same area. So, yeah, I got to admit, I mean, the judging is always open to perception, isn't it? But there's always one or two, and usually from the same judges. There'll be one over here somewhere. It doesn't make sense to be another bonkers one up here. But yeah, I'm okay with that this week. So I had half my money back and this £2 credit. Why I was checking the credit was, usually when they just give you £2 credit, you've got to use it by midnight tonight. So I probably will, because I think it's the £30,000 on the midweek lifestyle is discounted at 65 pence a throw. So I think I'll use that £2 to buy 3 tickets for the £30,000 on the lifestyle, because that'll come to £195. So that'll be a freebie, won't it? Right, let's have a look at this week's picture then. Well, that just took me about 4 minutes to go from the last page to this page, so there's still issues with, and I can see the thing is still spinning at the top of the screen, so it still hasn't fully loaded yet by the look of it. And I've got a 700 meg download speed on my internet, so normally that would have been instant, but it's really crawling. There's my first cross. Well, actually, it was my first cross. I was a little bit lower than that and further to the right when I put my first cross there. Well, in fact, I've done the same as last week. I've gone further to the left and up. Because, let's draw some lines. I think he's now looking higher than I originally thought he was. So if I draw some lines up there, I think he's looking quite steep there, because it looks like his eyebrow is quite raised, and you can see all the white under his eyes. Might even be steeper than that, but that's what I've gone as my second choice. But there, this fella on the left behind him, just stabbed him in the back. His eyelids are sort of lower. He doesn't look to me like he's looking very high. So if I draw a line from there across to my cross, that sort of looks right to me where he's looking, because I don't think he's looking pretty high. I can see that he can see over his head, but there's something about his eyes don't look as though he's looking high up in the air. You might see it differently, and probably will. But yeah, that's what I think. This guy is looking steep. I was further to the left, further down. But when I look again, he does look like he's looking quite steep there. And of course, we always assume that they're looking at a cross. Well, they're not today. They're looking at a ball, which is a hell of a lot bigger than a cross. So they don't necessarily mean that they're looking at the centre of the ball. But again, it depends what the judges are going to think, don't they? So that's where I've gone there as my second choice of this week, because I can't quite figure out. The guy at the back's not really doing much. He's just watching. This fella, I can't decide. I don't think he's headed it. Doesn't look right that he's headed it to me. It looks like... Well, the fact that the fella behind him is pushing him in the back, is he... He looks like he's moving, so I think he's possibly moving backwards to intercept the ball, and the other guy is just standing behind him, you know, pushing him. So I don't think he's headed it, but that's where we are on that. What was my coordinate for that then? 25431216. Let's have a look at Revcomps this week then. Now, big draw on Thursday. I wasn't sure what to do for Thursdays, so I only had, really, a ticket on this Amarok, and only because it comes with a digger. Now, I don't want the digger. If I had a big garden, I'd have the digger, even though I work in the office, just so I could come home from work and play with the digger. But the other thing, I thought, well, if I take the Amarok, the truck, and £20,000 cash instead of the digger, I could spend £5 of that on a second-hand caravan, because it's already got a tow bar and everything. It's all set up to go. I'd sell my camper van then, and I'd have a caravan and this car. So that's what I did. Then I realised that this thing, this BMW, this brand new one, the tickets are £2.50 for the toy drive, even though it's 100,000 tickets. That was on Thursday as well. I thought, oh well, can't leave it any longer. Let's grab one. Let's give £2.50 to the poor kids. Then this suddenly appeared with about 1 day's notice of a early bird price. I think it was £8.97 a ticket or something, and I thought, oh, look at this. £100,000 cash alternative. Go on and do it. So I've got 3 now for Thursday nights, so I don't often do. But then they added some more then for next Monday. I know my voice is a bit squeaky, but that's because I'm coming down from my my illness. I don't know what to do on this. I don't really want to spend nearly 12 quid on a motorhome when I got nowhere to put it. Tiguan R is nice, not a bad price, you know, 7 quid at the moment, 8,000 tickets. But I'm more thinking these days on a car that I might keep. And I probably wouldn't keep that, as I just think it would be too nutty. And thirsty and heavy. Then there's this, again, this was tempting because it's £65,000 cash alternative, but again we're looking at nearly 12 quid a ticket. If anything, it might be this Hyundai i20N, because it's the fast sporty one. A little bit too boy racer for me, but I'm sure it's a laugh. It's a manual gearbox, and it's only more or less 6,000 tickets. That's just over £6.5. What's swinging it for me is it's a 2024 Hyundai, so it's this year's, and Hyundai's have something like a 5-year warranty on them. So I'm thinking, okay, yeah, that could be a keeper if it's under warranty for probably, well, at least 4 years left on it, even if it's 6 months old. I don't know how old it is, but yeah, it's going to be 4.5 months left on the warranty, and it shouldn't be too expensive to own and maintain and run. So I might do that, if anything. Auto draws. So these two ending today, and they've only sold something like 25% on the Honda, 26% on the BMW. I got a ticket on both of these because I like them both. Good odds at the moment, but they, like I say every time, they'll ruin this because they'll send an email out about an hour before the draw's due to finish and say, look, buy some cheap cars, buy cheap tickets. I didn't go for this BMW because, why didn't I go for it? Oh, it's 20,000 tickets, so I didn't bother, even though they're only £2 a ticket. I didn't bother with this either, because for an auto draw, it was like a tenner a ticket, and I thought, nah, not doing it. Mercedes CLA Estate, I sort of like it, but it's a bit too big for me. And surprisingly, I always look up the performance figures and the miles per gallon on Parker's spec check. That's a 1.3 in that big car, but I'm sure it's fine. Didn't go for this Ranger Wild Track, even though it's a cash alternative, because it's 60,000 tickets, that'll put me off. I did grab one on this Mini. That's for Saturday, and there's one for Sunday. I grabbed one on this BMW as well, because I think that was which one was it? Yeah, it was a 420D, so I think that was the 2-litre diesel M Sport. I thought, yeah, I'll have some of that. And it turns out I got one on this watch as well. It was 40,000 tickets. I don't know when I bought that. It must have been weeks ago. This is one of the ones that's on the listings on the last page just for you check out. So yeah, that's 35 grand cash alternative. I don't remember buying a ticket for that, but I obviously did, because when I click on it, it says, you have one ticket on this prize. Why is this jumping about? It's me, innit? It's me messing about with stuff. Right, okay, there's the watch. Right, that's it from me. Let me know how you got on, guys, because I think a lot of you would have done well this week, because, like I said, I don't think it was a difficult one. All the judges were clustered relatively close together in the same area, and there was even a tighter cluster of judges as well. So I think a lot of you would have been in the Zone 1, Zone 2 area this week. I've managed to win Zone 2 2 weeks in a row now. It's a bloody miracle. Maybe Zone 1 next week. Maybe it's the reality where I win, or you win, next week. Well, actually, it's that reality every week. It's just that we're not actually in it. Oh, don't get me started on that. Anyway, let me know how you got on. Leave a coordinate, guys, for Saturday. We only had 6 last time, so I was, it's getting a bit worse, which is a bit weird when there's like 700, 800, 900 people watching a video and only 6 people leave a coordinate. And, you know, if you're watching our Saturday update videos because you want to see where people are thinking of going, so really you need to contribute to it as well, rather than just, look to see what else is doing. So there we are. Let me know how you got on. Leave a coordinate, and good luck, everyone.